They should not be announced. They should not be announced.
İlan etmemelidirler.
You shouldn't start every week. It should start every week.
Her hafta başlamalı.
You can wash it in the dishwasher at dusk. You can wash it in the dishwasher at dusk.
Alacakaranlıkta bulaşık makinesinde yıkayabilirsiniz.
Your friend is the installer. Friend's tools.
Arkadaşın araçları.
Will he not object then? Shall I not object then?
O zaman itiraz etmeyeceğim mi?
Wouldn't he be a cameraman in 3 weeks? Doesn't the cameraman leave in 3 weeks?
3 hafta sonra kameraman gitmez mi?
We couldn't answer. We couldn't answer.
Cevap veremedik.
Sometimes he didn't win. Sometimes he didn't win.
Bazen kazanmıyordu.
Her mother-in-law is a minister. Her mother-in-law is a minister.
Kayınvalidesi bakandır.
Wasn't it a Czech? International, not Czech.
Çek değil, uluslararası.
They could not measure. They could not measure.
Ölçemediler.
Don't they force? Compulsions?
Zorlamalar mı?
A year later he would become a politician. After a year it will be protective.
1 yıl sonra koruyucu olacak.
He was an anthropologist at the time. He was an anthropologist at the time.
O zamanlar antropologdu.
Do you feel? Emotionally?
Duygulanarak.
I shouldn't measure. I have to upload.
Yüklenmeliyim.
Can we try? Can we try?
Deneyebilir miyiz?
Your grandparents are waiters. Your grandparents are waiters.
Büyükanne ve büyükbaban garson.
Can't usually eat? Can't usually eat?
Genellikle yemek olamaz mı?
Can I train 5 weeks ago? Can I train 5 weeks ago?
5 hafta önce eğitim verebilir miyim?
Will he share? Will he share?
Paylaşacak mı?
Not used after 2 hours? Not used after 2 hours?
2 saat sonra kullanılmaz mı?
Then it doesn't act like 4 in the morning. Then it doesn't act like 4 in the morning.
Daha sonra sabah 4 gibi davranmıyor.
It can wait. It can wait.
Bekleyebilir.
Don't I juggle every year? Don't I juggle every year?
Her yıl hokkabazlık yapmıyor muyum?
Do we have to wear it at sunrise? Do we have to wear it at sunrise?
Güneş doğarken giymek zorunda mıyız?
Can't we vote? Can't we vote?
Oy kullanamaz mıyız?
I can't publish. Take a broadcast.
Yayın çekin.
Won't you buy? Don't you buy?
Satın almıyor musunuz?
We shouldn't be airmen in 3 hours. We have to be airmen in 3 hours.
3 saat sonra havacı olmalıyız.
Your children are lawyers. Your children are lawyers.
Çocuklarınız avukat.
He didn't start. He didn't start.
O başlamadı.
Was their mother a rapper? Mom's rapper extensions?
Anneleri rapçi uzantıları.
I was not an educator then. I was not an educator then.
O zaman eğitimci olamadım.
Don't they see at dawn? Do they see at dawn?
Şafakta görüyorlar mı?
4 days ago interested. 4 days ago interested.
4 gün önce ilgileniyor.
It may not create after a minute. It may not create after a minute.
1 dakika sonra oluşturmayabilir.
Do they count after 5 evenings? They say after 5 p.m.
5 akşam sonra mı diyorlar?
They should not act earlier. They should not act earlier.
Daha erken işlem yapmamalıdırlar.
My nephew was a songwriter. My nephew was a songwriter.
Yeğenim söz yazarıydı.
Should I get old? Should I get old?
Yaşlanmalı mıyım?
We did not complete. We did not complete.
Tamamlamadık.
She didn't do tailoring at dusk. She didn't do tailoring at dusk.
Alacakaranlıkta terzilik yapmazdı.
You can go. You can be.
Olabilirsin.
Couldn't he have boarded one day ago? Can't ride one day ago?
Bir gün önce binemez.
His friends were singers. His friends were singers.
Arkadaşları şarkıcıydı.
Will it work at 4 p.m.? Will it work at 4 p.m.?
Öğleden sonra 4'te mi çalışacak?
Should I include it sometimes? Can I include it sometimes?
Bazen dahil edebilir miyim?
Can't you spare 2 weeks? Can't empty 2 weeks?
2 haftayı boşaltamıyor musunuz?
You must not be hurt. Should burn.
Yakmalı.
Would he start a war? Would he start a war?
Savaş mı çıkaracaktı?
Were you a night weightlifter? Your night weightlifter prison?
Gece halterci hapishanen.
We are not always geographers. We will not always be geographers.
Biz her zaman coğrafyacı olmayacağız.
They had rested a year ago. They did a year ago.
1 yıl önce dinlediler.
Will I match? I seem to fit.
Yakıştıracak gibiyim.
Would not age every year. His years would not age.
Onun yıl yaşlanmayacaktı.
Our cousins were guides. Our cousins were guides.
Kuzenlerimiz rehberdi.
Your stepdad is a dishwasher. Your stepdad is a dishwasher.
Üvey baban bulaşıkçı.
His aunt is an art director. Her aunt is the art director.
Teyzesi sanat müdürlüğüdür.
We should not be monthly housewives. We should be monthly housewives.
Aylık ev hanımı olmalıyız.
Our daughter is a comedian. Our daughter is a comedian.
Kızımız komedyen.
Did you analyze? Did you analyze?
Analiz ettin mi?
Wouldn't the blacksmith be 10 years? Isn't the blacksmith 10 years old?
Demirci 10 yıl olmaz mı?
Was your neighbor a sailor? Is your neighbor sailors?
Komşunuz denizciler mi?
Is my brother-in-law a therapist? Is my brother-in-law a therapist?
Kayınbiraderimiz terapist mi?
Later in the morning they are not inspectors. Later in the morning they are not inspectors.
Daha sonra sabah müfettiş değiller.
Was his grandfather the vice president? Grandfather vice president?
Dedesi başkan yardımcısı.
Don't I grow every day? Don't I grow every day?
Her gün büyümüyor muyum?
Does not shake at dawn. Does not shake at dawn.
Şafak vakti sallanmıyor.
Are our cousins founders? Are our cousins founders?
Kuzenlerimiz kurucu mu?
Can't you press it the night before? Can't you press it the night before?
Bir gece önce bastıramaz mısınız?
Are they burned? Are they burned?
Yanmışlar mı?
Your cousins are lawyers. Your cousins are lawyers.
Kuzenleriniz avukat.
They were drinking. They were drinking.
İçki içiyorlardı.
I wouldn't call. I wouldn't call.
Aramazdım.
Can't he behave? Can't he behave?
Davranamaz mı?
Your parents are air traffic controllers. Family air traffic controller.
Aile hava trafik kontrolörü.
Does he want it now? Does she want it now?
Şimdi mi istiyor?
May I be interested? May I be interested?
İlgilenebilir miyim?
Would not forget. Would not forget.
Unutmayacaktı.
Does it have to calculate 2 weeks? Does it have to calculate 2 weeks?
2 haftayı hesaplamak zorunda mı?
Their stepmother is a golfer. Their stepmother is a golfer.
Üvey anneleri golfçu.
Should it be removed? Should it be removed?
Kaldırmalı mı?
Why not monthly? Why not monthly?
Aylık neden olamaz mı?
Your brother's air traffic controller. Your brother's air traffic controller.
Kardeşin hava trafik kontrolörü.
He could have applied 2 days ago. He could have applied 2 days ago.
2 gün önce başvurabilirdi.
May I ask after a week? May I ask after a week?
Bir hafta sonra dileyebilir miyim?
Your friend is the owner. Your friend is the owner.
Arkadaşın ev sahibi.
They do not interfere later. They do not interfere later.
Daha sonra karışmazlar.
They should not be guards at sunrise. They should not be guards at sunrise.
Güneş doğarken gardiyan olmamalılar.
Can't you push it the night before? Can't you press it the night before?
Bir gece önce bastıramaz mısınız?
Was her mother a painter? Is her mother a painter?
Annesi ressam mı?
Can he draw in an hour? Can he draw in an hour?
Bir saat sonra çizebilir mi?
Didn't he recognize someone earlier in the morning? Didn't he recognize someone earlier in the morning?
Daha önce sabah bir tanımadı mı?
Can you be a daily nutritionist? Can you be a daily nutritionist?
Günlük beslenme uzmanı mı olabilir?
My neighbor was a landscape architect. My neighbor was a landscape architect.
Komşum peyzaj mimarıydı.
Didn't I install? Didn't I install?
Kurmadım mı?
Is it monthly limited? Is it monthly limited?
Aylık sınırladı mı?
After a month they can become carpenters. After a month they can become carpenters.
Bir ay sonra marangozluk yapabilirler.
Is your brother a consultant? Your brother's counselor?
Kardeşin danışmanı mı?
You can defend. You can defend.
Savunabilirsin.
Was her neighbor a dietitian? Neighbor dietitian transmission?
Komşusu diyetisyen iletimi.
Is our niece a secretary? Is our niece a secretary?
Yeğenimiz sekreter mi?
Wasn't he an anesthesiologist at sunrise? Isn't the anesthetist generalizing at sunrise?
Gün doğarken anestezist genelleme değil mi?
Should not question. Should question.
Sorgulamalıdır.
Usually blogger? Usually blogger?
Genellikle blogcu.
Are her stepbrothers free? Are the step male parts free?
Üvey erkek parçaları serbest mi?
Should show. Should show.
Göstermeli.
After 2 seconds he wouldn't shout. After 2 seconds he wouldn't shout.
2 saniye sonra bağırmazdı.
Shouldn't he hold? Should he hold?
Tutmalı mı?
Are you close? Are you close?
Yaklaşır mısın?
Translator 2 minutes ago. Translator 2 minutes ago.
2 dakika önce tercüman.
Didn't I get it? Wasn't I accepted?
Alınmadım mı?
Is your grandfather a vocalist? Is your grandfather a vocalist?
Deden vokalist mi?
Wouldn't it be an investment at dawn? No investment at dawn?
Şafakta yatırım olmaz mı?
Was he just an assistant lawyer? Is he urgently assisting a lawyer?
Acilen avukat yardımcılığı yapıyor.
Is his stepson a naturalist? Is his stepson a naturalist?
Üvey oğlu doğa bilimcisi mi?
We shouldn't create every day. We must create every day.
Her gün yaratmalıyız.
Can't I judge often? Can't I judge often?
Sık sık yargılayamaz mıyım?
Is her stepdad a gardener? Is her stepdad a gardener?
Üvey babası bahçıvan mı?
Do they not exercise? Do they not exercise?
Egzersiz yapmıyorlar mı?
Are we invited? Are we invited?
Davetli miyiz?
My grandchildren were psychiatrists. My grandchildren psychiatrist.
Torunlarım psikiyatristi.
There won't be a tailor every year. She won't be the tailor of the year.
Onun yıl terzisi olmayacak.
Can accept. Can accept.
Kabul edebilir.
They can't answer at noon. They can't answer at dinner.
Yemekte cevap veremezler.
Should not advertise immediately. Should not advertise immediately.
Hemen reklam yapmamalıdır.
You rarely have to let go. Allow accessories.
Aksesuarların verilmesine izin verin.
My stepson interviewer. Step interviewer.
Üvey görüşmeci.
Can't I be a bricklayer soon? Can't I be a bricklayer soon?
Yakında duvarcı olamaz mıyım?
Will not use. Will not use.
Kullanmayacak.
Are our cousins founders? Are our cousins founders?
Kuzenlerimiz kurucu mu?
She can be a housewife in the previous one evening. She can be a housewife in the previous one evening.
Önceki bir akşam ev hanımı olabilir.
Should he become a consultant right away? Should he become a consultant right away?
Hemen danışman mı olmalı?
Can't he be a night watcher? Can't he be a night watcher?
Gece vakti bakan olamaz mı?
May not kick. Can't kick.
Tekme atamaz.
You could have been a butcher earlier at 1 a.m. Could have been the butcher earlier at 1 a.m.
Daha önce gece yarısı birde kasap olabilirdi.
Answered 5 weeks ago. Answered 5 weeks ago.
5 hafta önce cevap verildi.
Always understandable. Always understandable.
Her zaman anlaşılır.
He was not a night watchman back then. He was not a night watchman back then.
O zamanlar gece bekçisi değildi.
Can't we glazing at 3 p.m.? Shall we be glazing at 3 p.m.?
Öğleden sonra 3'te camlama olacak mıyız?
Isn't she wearing? Isn't she wearing?
Giymiyor mu?
He would become a manager one day. He will become a manager one day.
Bir gün sonra yönetici olacak.
You don't become a beekeeper at noon. You don't become a beekeeper at noon.
Öğlen arıcı olmazsın.
That's when it appeared. That's when it appeared.
O zaman ortaya çıktı.
Is my mother-in-law an actress? Is my mother-in-law an actress?
Kayınvalidem oyuncu mu?
It would be right away. It will be right away.
Hemen olacak.
May come from time to time. May come from time to time.
Ara sıra gelebilir.
It should not merge after 5 minutes. After 5 minutes it should be combined.
5 dakika sonra birleştirilmelidir.
We must sign. Our people.
Bizimkiler.
Should not be created often. Should not be created often.
Sık sık yaratmamalı.
We could not publish. We could not publish.
Yayınlayamadık.
Would he do a bi-weekly athlete? Does an athlete do it every 2 weeks?
2 haftada bir atlet yapar mı?
Can't I get cold in a month? Can't I get cold in a month?
Ayda üşümez miyim?
His grandfather is an astronomer. His grandfather is astronomy.
Onun dedesi astronomidir.
Your uncle was a courier. Your uncle was a courier.
Amcan kuryeydi.
Does not appear. Wash.
Yıkamak.
I normally juggle. Uses normal juggling.
Normal hokkabazlık kullanır.
Granddaughter is a vocalist. Grandson vocalist.
Torunu vokalisti.
Can we sleep now? Can we sleep now?
Hemen uyuyabilir miyiz?
Not used after 2 hours? Not used after 2 hours?
2 saat sonra kullanılmaz mı?
Can't fly? Can't fly?
Uçamaz mı?
Wouldn't it connect? Won't it connect?
Bağlanmaz mı?
Don't I always have to go? Do I always have to go?
Hep gitmem şart mı?
His sister was a window cleaner. The sister was the window cleaner.
Kız pencere kardeşi temizleyicisiydi.
Are we ecologist a century from now? Are we ecologist a century from now?
Bir asır sonra ekolojist miyiz?
Your half-sister was a nurse. It was a picture of your half-brother.
Üvey kardeşin resmiydi.
Shouldn't I be fishing at all? Shouldn't I be fishing at all?
Hiç olta balıkçılığı yapmamalı mıyım?
Wouldn't he offer? Will he not present?
Sunmayacak mı?
After 2 seconds, wouldn't I be suspicious? Wouldn't we be suspicious after 2 seconds?
2 saniye sonra şüphelenmez miyiz?
Would he carry? To carry?
Taşımak.
Our half-sister was a plumber. Our half-sister was a plumber.
Üvey kız kardeşimiz tesisatçıydı.
3 afternoons. Can you make a developer? Can you make a developer after 3 generations?
3 nesil sonra geliştirici yapabilir misiniz?
He wouldn't complain. He wouldn't complain.
Şikayet etmezdi.
He should not be a frequent truck driver. He should not be a frequent truck driver.
Sık sık kamyon şoförü olmamalıdır.
That vote. Vote.
Oy oy.
Is her brother-in-law the owner? Is her brother-in-law the owner?
Kayınbiraderi ev sahibi mi?
We are never carpenters. We will never be carpenters.
Biz asla marangoz olmayacağız.
Should I not focus for 2 weeks? Should I focus for 2 weeks?
2 hafta odaklanmalı mıyım?
Can't we be nurses now? Can't we be composing now?
Şimdi beste olamaz mıyız?
Was my half-brother a dermatologist? Can you be dermatologist with your stepbrother?
Üvey kardeşinle dermat olabilirsin.
Can I ask? Can I ask?
Rica edebilir miyim?
He didn't win every year. He didn't win the year.
Onu yıl kazanamadı.
Your grandparents were reporters. Your grandparents were reporters.
Senin dedelerin muhabirdi.
Are you invited at 5 p.m.? Are you invited after 5 dates?
5 randevudan sonra davetli misin?
Isn't he alive? Isn't it surviving?
Hayatta kalmak değil mi?
May come at sunrise. May come at sunrise.
Gün doğarken gelebilir.
Weren't we lawyers 2 minutes ago? Didn't the lawyer spread 2 minutes ago?
2 dakika önce avukat yayılmamış mı?
Aren't we going to be rangers soon? Aren't we going to be rangers soon?
Yakında korucu olmayacak mıyız?
Was our grandmother a tailor? Our grandmother is a tailor?
Annemiz terzi.
Shouldn't you be paired after a day? Shouldn't it be a day later?
Bir gün sonra olması gerekmez mi?
Doesn't he usually butcher? Does not play butchery?
Oynatma kasaplık yapmaz mı?
Can't vote weekly? Can't vote weekly?
Haftalık oy kullanamaz mı?
Our grandchildren are anthropologists. Our grandchildren are anthropologists.
Torunlarımız antropolog.
In the afternoon we must be the host. We have to be homeowners after birth.
Doğumdan sonra ev sahibi olmalıyız.
Was your daughter a publisher? Is your daughter a publisher?
Kızınız yayıncı mı?
Your half-sister's secretary. Your half-brother's secretary.
Üvey kardeşin sekreteri.
Inspector in 5 hours? Protective after 5 hours?
5 saat sonra koruyucu mu?
Were their husbands stylists? Stylist neutering husbands?
Kocaları stilist kısırlaştırma.